Hello everyone, I am back with my next video. Today's pen is going to be the Pilot Elite E95S. I purchased this on Amazon. It was $90, and this is a pocket pen, kind of vintage inspired in its design. And this version is the burgundy. It's the burgundy body and the ivory cap. It also comes in black. The nib is a 14 karat gold extra fine nib. Go to focus. So that's the nib. And the body's resin and the cap is aluminum. It's a very light pen. Although it's very light, it doesn't feel at all cheap. There's no converter with mine, but some retailers do include the converter. It uses a Con 20 converter and the standard Pilot cartridge, which is what I'm using. Pretty simple, not too much to see. You can see the feed there. Very, I would say, understated in this design, but very elegant at the same time. Very good pocket pen if you're into pocket pens. And so I'll show you what comes in the box. The box is pretty understated as well. It says Pilot and some other random writings on it. Inside it's just a plastic box. See Pilot. Not sure what kind of material that is. And underneath it's just, it came with one cartridge. The pen was in here and some instructions. And this was on the clip. It just says Elite 14 karat, and that's it. Extra fine. So pretty simple. As far as the weight, as I said, it's pretty light. It's 15.4 grams, capped and inked, and 10 grams even, uncapped. For the most part, I think most people will use this Post-it. It's really small if it's not Post-it. You can see, kind of almost hard to use on Post-it, but it pretty much becomes a full-size pen, you know, once you post it. It's a not sure how to describe it. I guess it's kind of a friction, almost a snap cap type. It's feels nice. This is a what I would call a good fidget pen, because you could just sit there and just, you know, if you like to fidget. So in comparing sizes, so it's a Pilot Elite. Here's a Pilot Metropolitan, Vanishing Point. Here's a Kaweco collection, and a Pilot Prera, which is probably closest in size unposted. Let's see, we'll post it, and you can see how it kind of grows a little bit when it's posted. Yeah, it's almost similar to about the same size as the Metropolitan when it's posted. It's bigger than the, so So yeah, about the same size as a Metropolitan. So it's a good space saver pen if you're, you know, low on space. You just want something small and light to carry around. Very good for a professional who takes a lot of notes, who doesn't want anything bulky in their pockets. But yeah, that's about it for the specs and the comparisons. I will start with a writing sample now. So let's see. I'll start with my left hand today. So the pen is the Pilot Elite E95S. The nib is a 14 karat gold, and this is you know, pretty good price point, I think, for, you know, 14 karat gold nib. The ink is the included cartridge. It's just a black, little line weight variation. Very reliable. I haven't had any issues. You know, being that it's extra fine, and it's a Japanese extra fine, you definitely feel, not scratchiness, but I guess feedback. And with my right hand, it's the Pilot. E95S. Extra fine. Ink. Included cartridge. At some point I will get a cartridge. I just haven't bothered yet. A very nice line variation. It is quite flexy. See the line variation there. And reverse, it's, you know, not very good in reverse because it's, you know, already so thin. So we'll start with some pros and some cons. So I say some pros. It's fairly smooth for an extra fine. Some feedback, but, you know, not bad. It's reliable. No hard starts, no skipping, nothing like that. It's comfortable to hold for me. I know, the grip, it's not slippery. So it's comfortable for me. It's sleek. Low profile. You know, it doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself like you know, some fountain pens can. And although it's pocket sized, it does, you know, transform itself nicely into a full size pen. So it's very flexible, you know, that way. And as I stated before, this is a good price for a 14 karat gold nib. And I think the design is unique. I also like the way it caps, you know, the way it just fits perfectly. I think this is a, you know, a good example of Japanese engineering, the way it just snaps in there, and it doesn't, you know, you have to, it's in there very securely, so you don't have to worry about it just flying off. Cons, I would say this may be small for some hands. And it has to be posted. I mean, otherwise, you just, unless you have really tiny hands, I would say it has to be posted. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of slide in between your hands there. And you know, it's just not ideal for those, for people who like weighty, girthy pens. Girthy and weighty, because it's very light. And like I said, this is, for me, was $90 on Amazon. So it's fairly, I mean, $90, you know, for a pen is still expensive, but for a Pilot with a 14 karat gold nib, I think it's a pretty good price. And so as far as a new thing I wanted to start, for my channel, is to include like an inspiration rating. And what I mean by that is, when I look at the pen, do I immediately want to just pick it up and hold it and write it? And for this one, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. And the reason why is that I'm really, when this pen is sitting on my desk or whatever, I'm not really inspired to pick it up. You know, I was like, oh yeah, it's there, it's nice. But once I do pick it up, and that's where the 0.5 comes in, just holding it and fiddling with it, and when I do actually sit down and write with it, I am, you know, very pleased with it. But you know, just sitting here on its own, I'm not really, like, it doesn't inspire me to pick it up very much. But definitely, I recommend this. It's probably a niche kind of a pen. If you think you'd like something this small, and you want a 14 karat gold nib with some good flex, check it out. Maybe you can find one on the used market, not so expensive. But so yeah, everyone, this is the Pilot Elite E95S. I hope this was helpful. It's Pilot Japan. So thanks for watching. We'll put together another video for you all pretty soon. So thanks again. Take care.